But now let's watch this liberal Karen crash out on Hakeem Jeffries over his criticisms of Zoran.
Okay. First of all, he has addressed the rise of anti-Semitism, and it's not performative. It's very, very real. And he understands that it's real. And he has the endorsement of other Jewish politicians that aren't propagandized by a corrupt Israeli government, Hakeem. But secondly, this was your moment, Hakeem, to also stand up against Islamophobia. Because here's the thing about human rights, you guys. You don't get to cherry pick. If you're against anti-Semitism, then you have to be against Islamophobia, homophobia, racism, and down the line. Also class warfare, this bigotry towards poor people is just abhorrent, which disproportionately hurts people with the color of Hakeem Jeffries' skin. And so this kind of cherry picking, because of who donates to Hakeem Jeffries, AIPAC donates to Hakeem Jeffries. How on earth right now is the government of Israel helping calm and quell anti-Semitism? How? How are they doing it? They're not. They lie and they propagandize and they say, we get to do all this stuff with impunity. And then if you criticize us or you do anything wrong towards us or you speak out against us, then we're going to call you an anti-Semite.
Wait, isn't the last thing she said quite literally the Democrat Party playbook? They get to do whatever they want without impunity, and the moment you criticize Democrats, they call you a racist. They call you a fascist. They call you a misogynist. They say you're the next closest thing to Adolf Hitler. The Democrats are the ones who popularized that strategy. Let's not engage in debate with anybody. Let's avoid having to explain ourselves entirely and just suppress and silence people through insulting them. And then she has the nerve to claim Democrats are so altruistic and consistent in their moral stances. Oh, if you're going to condemn anti-Semitism, well, you also have to condemn Islamophobia because every single plight of every single person is connected through intersectionality. It's that delusional thought process that gives you the Queers for Palestine movement, where progressive liberals are supporting Islamic terrorists who do not share any of the same values as them. In fact, if those same Queers for Palestine were actually in Gaza, Hamas would execute them en masse. But for liberals, there doesn't need to be any consistency in your logic. They're satisfied with the intellectually lazy argument that all people share the same plights through one unified fight. But I've seen liberals switch from Ukraine flags to Palestine flags to Mexican flags to supporting Iran because they really don't stand for anything. They get all their self-worth through virtue signaling and pretending to care about whatever the establishment tells them is important that week. I've never heard them condemn the Chinese concentration camps that are holding Uyghurs. I've never heard them condemn the modern slave trade that is still occurring in Africa. And I certainly never heard them condemn Joe Biden's open border policies, which led to over 500,000 children disappearing and being sold into sex slavery. And then she connects it all with her Marxist class warfare comment. Oh, income inequality disproportionately affects the people who look like Hakeem Jeffries. Once again, reinforcing the Democrats' racist worldview that everybody who has the same skin color is exactly the same. And I've got to point this out. I cannot stand when people say things like disproportionately affects this group, because the particular use of that language implies that there is some systemic headwind that that group is facing. They see a disparity and conclude that it's the result of discrimination. Disproportionately affects means that there's some sort of systemic phenomenon that is outside of the control of the individual that they are merely subject to the whims of. And when you intentionally use that kind of language to try to absolve individuals of any responsibility, the proposed solution to remedy this problem is the complete deconstruction of a system that, if you step outside of your delusional liberal bubble, you would find is free, fair, and equal and actually works very well.